Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Where have I been? Last week was crazy, so here I am back. It is Tuesday, the second day of the month of 7, which I am actually devoting to Chiron, but that's me. And the moon is almost full. It's just past the halfway point. The moon will be full. I think it said on the 7th, but anyway. So let's see what message wants to come through today. We're back with this. Oh my gosh. Happy to be back. So let's get some runes down. We are using the Elder Futhark on Birch. Let's see what message wants to come through today. Once again, this message is for whoever this message is for. This is the message that wants to come through today, but it may not be for today. It is for whenever you find this video and message. So if you find this and then it doesn't resonate, maybe it's not for you and maybe it's not for you today. So maybe you'll find it again in the future and it will be for then. So either way, it's seeds planted. And so maybe the message will help you at some point in some way. Right. Let's see. Central issue today. Let's get this. It's a bit cloudy today, so my natural light is not as good as normal, but anyway, we can still see, I think. See what I can do while I'm doing that, actually. Central issue today is Ansus. Ansus is the rune of communication and manifestation. So today we're very much going to be focused on communication, manifestation, and expression. That's our main focus. Leading up to this, we have Isa. Isa is the rune of ice. Ice is the rune of standstill and stillness, but it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So I'm thinking what's happened is you've maybe been doing some meditation. You've maybe been having some moments alone and still, and something has come through for you that you are really, really eager to express. Whether this is by communication, just by telling somebody, or whether this is by using that to create something and to manifest something in the world and to express it in the world. So what's going to help you? Begin. That is the thing that is going to help you. If you don't begin, then it's just going to sit in there and it'll eventually fester and be a problem and it'll be harder to get out. Right now, while you are inspired, begin. Even if it's just the tiniest thing, even if it's just sit down, put the outline of it on paper or something, but begin. Whatever it is that you're meaning to express, put it down in point form. You don't have to do it perfectly immediately. You just get it started, begin. And what's going to help you with that is connect with heart, connect with your emotions, connect with intuition. We have Lagus, which is the rune of emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. Let it flow. Flow in from this. This was the ice. The clarity has brought something in. Let that water flow from that now, because it's like water flowing down from the icy heights. But anyway, let it flow. Just let it flow. If you have to stream of consciousness write to get your writing hand writing, that's what you've got to do. Either way, it's how you're going to begin. So the important thing is to begin. How do you begin? Just start. It's like, let it flow. Let it flow from that. I met somebody in university, I think it was, who said that whenever they didn't feel like getting started, they would just basically get a piece of paper and start writing blarf, 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 blarf until actual words started coming out. But you have to just start, get the flow started. It may even begin with visualizing yourself starting it and then start writing, start your hand moving, doing what you're going to be doing. Just start. Move yourself to the space and then start doing the motions, because it's got to start, and that's just get yourself into the flow of it. And once again, connect with heart, connect with your intuition, basically acknowledge your emotional state, and on we go. What isn't going to help is that it feels overwhelming. You have a lot that you want to do with it, and you want it to be perfect when you do it. And I get that. So you got this, it's like this clarity that came through that was just glorious, and you're not going to be able to bring it through immediately in that glorious state. It's not like, was it Athena jumping fully formed from the brow of Zeus. It's going to be, it's going to take some work. You're going to have to attach some work to your wish. And this is basically, it's glorious and gorgeous, and hold that in mind. Hold that in mind. But it's going to feel like a lot. It's going to feel overwhelming. It's like, I can't possibly bring that through. That is just too big. It's too much. I can't. It's too much. Sorry, to explain, we have dagas, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. And that's just basically, it was such a huge download that you received when you were being still, and suddenly this incredible clarity that came through that you want to express. But it feels like it's too much. You can't possibly do it. Yes, you can. You just have to begin and let it flow, so that you can begin and just work on that. Let it flow. But it is right now feeling overwhelming. And what's behind that is that because it's so much, you feel like you can't possibly bring it through perfectly. And you want to bring it through perfectly. You don't want to see it. Right now in your mind, you have this idea of it, and it's just gorgeous, and it's like perfect, pristine, pure, sacred gorgeousness. And you don't want to see it in pieces. You don't want to see it where you're putting it together. You don't want to see its guts, because you have to sew it up and you have to present it in a way that people can understand and maybe even get it the way that you get it. But you have to have that. It's like if you have an idea for a stuffed animal and you have the idea of it, but when you make it, it's going to be all in pieces, and you're going to have to sew those pieces together, and you're going to have to fiddle with the eyes, and you're going to have to turn it inside out. Well, it's going to be inside out, and then you're going to have to wrestle to get it to turn right side in. And anyway, it's not going to be pretty until it's done. But that's the thing, is you have this idea of it in it, and you want it to come through as perfectly as you see it, and you feel it right now. And we have Ingvaz, which is Aang's rune, and it's active creation. And in the lower line, you're worried about this because it's so much and you want it to be perfect, but you have to, it has to be step by step in a linear way. Even if it does exist in its perfect form in the future, you have to get it there. So if you start to feel like that, and you have this, and you really want to share it, bring yourself back up to, it's like, okay, I need to begin. How do I begin? Let's just start with the flow. Let's connect with heart, connect with, what I've pulled through from this wonderful intuitive download that I've received, and just flow into that. However whatever you need to do to make that happen, like whatever it takes, so that you can begin it. Because once you've begun it, then it will sort of draw the rest of it through. And that's what's going to help. What this is all going to lead you to, and literally the next step on your path line, is its completion. So all you have to do is begin it, because that's like, pulling that one thing that's going to tumble everything else out. And it's not going to be easy, because you are going to feel a bit overwhelmed, and you are going to feel like you want it to come through perfect, but it's not going to come through perfect. It's going to be you pulling it through and then working on it. But it may even be, considering that this is right here, it's like immediately the next step, it may come through in a way that you can almost immediately use. It may come through ready to consume. It may not, but then putting it together once you've pulled it through is not going to be that difficult. Either way, the very next step on the path line is from Ansu's, which is like, I want to communicate, I want to manifest, I want to express, to literally the next step, which is Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. So it's basically, you will see the fruits of your labors immediately. Like the next step, you will have in your hand the harvest that you wanted to bring through. So it can be done. It feels daunting because there's just so much of it, and it was this glorious blaze through with like the choir music in the background when you encountered it in your stillness. And you may feel overwhelmed and you want to bring it through that perfectly, but it's not going to come through entirely complete and perfect. You have to begin it. And in order to begin it, you have to flow into that beginning. You have to do whatever it takes to flow into that. But be assured that once you do that, that's all you need to express it. That's all you need, because as soon as you've completed the expression step, it's there. You have it in hand. you can give it to people to consume and it will nourish them. So that is the message that wanted to come through today. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.